This is going to be awkward drinking this coffee, I'm not going to lie to you. But I'm going to figure it out. Rather, I got to wrap my arm around the mic or fucking shove it in. I probably shouldn't say like that, but I'm taking that coffee. Welcome back. I'm cheating in a t-shirt. If there's one thing that everybody in the tabletop scene can agree to, is that everybody hates a cheater. Somebody that's going to go out of their way to take advantage of the scene just to take a big old stinky shit. And cheating generally happens everywhere, whether it be a local game store for a pack of cards, or even tournaments that are in the Grand Prix that go up to thousands of dollars. I feel like it's always the same type of shit as well, where it's something that involves sleight of hand, rather it be shuffling the deck really weird, placing cards on top of your deck, or mana weaving. Oh boy, here comes the comments. Today, I've brought you 3 different stories from the Magic scene that involve cheating, rather they be a game store owner, an obvious pro player, or the Grand Prix itself. But as always, let's jump into it and see if they draw the 1 ring on their first turn. Because God knows I can't play Modern without seeing that card. Our first story was posted on the Magic TCG subreddit 13 years ago by Nope called, "Did I Get Cheated?" I got into Magic a few weeks ago. Last night was my first event ever, a booster draft. A few things happened with the store owner that left a bad taste in my mouth. We had 6 people ready to draft, and the owner asked if it was alright if he played 7th, and we just plugged in imaginary 8th person.
Come on! There'll be more prize support if we have 8 people.
Most people said, sure, whatever. I can only imagine this is just some full-grown, like, 40-year-old man walking to a table of, like, 16 and 20-year-olds being like,
"Hey guys, can I come kick it with the gents?"
and it's just like, sure, weird old man. You can come on over. But then again, it's also like it's the store owner, so what are you going to say? Like, no, dude, get away from us, without the fear of being, like, kicked out. So, there is that. So the first round starts, and surprisingly, the store owner gets the imaginary person. So he goes 2-0. I also went 2-0 against my opponent. It felt good. Second round, I go 2-0 again. Felt really good. Third round, I'm against the owner. He said he won his second match. He whispers to me,
"Hey, if we draw, we both go to the finals."
I wasn't really sure what to say. I really just wanted to play the deck I just built as much as possible. Then he said,
"If we don't, I might just beat you and knock you out of the finals. So we'll just draw. Pretend like we're playing so no one notices."
That is very sus, and that is a great way to make people so uncomfortable that they don't come back to your store. Like, if this is the owner, that is a practical way of making people be like, wow, he's rigging the like events. Why would I ever come here to play? You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's a perfect way of scaring people off, especially if they're young. It's like, maybe I should make him sound more like that. Because that's the kind of vibe I'm getting from him. It's kind of like a balding orc sort of deal. Kind of like one of them Oblivion looks. Which, by the way, I've been playing Oblivion. It's been so good. It's been so fun. Then I asked if we could at least play a game. And he agreed. But he said he needed to distribute his mana. I watched him stack his deck right in front of me. I asked to shuffle his deck when he was done. And he went,
"Whoa, whoa! You can court my deck, but you don't shuffle someone else's deck."
Dude, this is kind of what I was talking about. It's like, listen, mana weaving in some cases can be okay if it's very casual. But if you're like playing in like drafts or like a tournament, it's not, dude. You can't do that. That's very in my opinion, if it's competing for something, that is a form of cheating. Get mad at me if you want, but I said my piece. Also, I do feel like that's very valid to want to shuffle someone's deck, especially after you just watch them put every single card that they want on their deck. Like, that's a bullshitter right there. I felt I had every right to shuffle his deck, but him being the owner of this place, I didn't want to argue. I told him that he needed to shuffle his deck more. Then after some discussion, he agreed, but said,
"Dude, shuffle your own deck! I haven't seen you shuffle one night!"
Round 3 was over, and he announced that it was him and I in the finals. Then he said,
"Now we just split the prize."
Whoa! I wanted to play. I wanted to win it all. I asked if we could play the finals, and he said that the first and second always just split because no one ever wants to stick around for the finals. I wanted to stick around for the finals. I wanted to play as much as possible. This was the first time I played at the shop with a deck that I built and was able to be competitive. He then handed me 3 packs and said, "Congrats!" I was a little confused. I thought I was getting 4 if we were splitting the prize evenly. I asked him, and he said,
Well, technically we only really had 6.
"No, technically we had 7, and you wanted to make up the 8th. He said he doesn't really count himself as a player either. That's some bullshit. Flat out, once again, another thing that will make it so people will never come back to your shop, because he's just screwing the game over. Because you're not just even cheating people out of the game, you're cheating them out of their prizes too. Because, yeah, I'm going to say that's some bullshit when you amp people up to say, oh yeah, you're going to get more rewards for having me play. And then flat out say, I don't actually count myself as a player. Like, nah, dude, that's some bullshit. And I'm sure if everyone is still there at the table watching the game, they would at least attest to be like, no, asshole, you said that this was the deal. And even just splitting it as it is like bullshit. That's just a way for the store owner to want to not have to give away as many packs. That's flat out what this is in the end. It's just a guy that doesn't want to give out as many packs than he has to. So he'll put himself into the game so he can take half of it back and f the kid out of his winnings. Like, that's what this is. I'm splitting my prize with someone that isn't even counting himself as being in the tournament. Went home still feeling good even though I only played 4 games. I won them all and got a small prize of 3 packs. It was still a good night. Anything illegal going on here? Yeah, absolutely there's some illegal shit going on here. Because if you're a game store owner that is hosting draft nights and changing the rules of how you play the game and the rules of how many rewards you're going to get, yeah, you're flat out abusing the system, and it's bullshit. Because that's what he did. He inserted himself into the game so he didn't have to give out as many packs. It's better to come in and take half of it than give away 6 or 8 packs, right? That's the easiest way to do it, and just tell the winner, oh yeah, game's over. Yeah, anyway, split it. Nah, dude. I would report his ass to Kingdom Come so that way Wizards of the Coast himself can come down and execute him in front of the town. Like, flat out, this is some bullshit where, once again, if you were going to this game store, you'd never come back to it after like this. Like, ever. Our next story takes place on the same subreddit, posted as a comment 10 years ago by Makeket on a thread called, "Does anyone have any experience with cheaters in MTG?" Solid. Fucking nailed that. Ugh, finally. Ugh! At the local game store I play at, on pre-release events, this butthole would show up every so often for about a year. We have Saturday, Sunday pre-releases, and because it's a small group of us, a rule that we have is that you cannot get more than one of the promos given for the weekend. It's only to make sure that everyone on Sunday gets one if we have a big turnout. So this jerk would show up, about 21 to 25 years old, in his fancy new Mercedes that once could have reservations on how he affords. His Grand Prix playmat from wherever the most recent one was, including overseas places that he claims he takes top 8 at. And always coming to our stores with the same dirtbag story.
I don't even know what's in this set. I haven't played it or looked at any spoilers.
Yeah, dudes that usually say shit like that are just full-on liars. Like, flat-out dudes that are just like, I have no idea what this could be. Guys, what do you... Like, those kind of dudes, yeah, you can just look at them. Even just the Grand Prix playmat's just like, oh, geez, bro, you're hard in the motherfucking paint over there, aren't you? But hey, respect to people that do that shit, but god damn, dude. It's quite a flex. But then again, just lying to locals at a game store is just cringe on its own, since that's just a friendly environment to just kind of hang out in. There's no really need to just kind of fabricate your own bullshit to make yourself look like you're not what you are. So the first 2 times I had ever seen him, he took first. First place at our store is tough, because there isn't a single person under 21 there. And we're all very, very good players. Damn, yeah. Flat out just saying, yeah, we got the blue-collar workers to the full-on bridge trolls, dude. Like, we've got it all. To walk in and just outright beat some of our best players as a stranger is impressive. After the second time, one of the guys made a claim that he was being really weird with shuffling, constantly needing to be reminded that he needed to let someone cut him, but making sure to aggressively hand shuffle anyone else's deck. I'll spare you the long story, but basically he came back about 4 more times. This time with me getting to play him all 4 times. I observed each time more and more cheating, such as cutting lands on his opponent with a dirty shuffle, loading his deck between rounds, land, non-land, land, non-land, claiming he was SBing, drawing cards when people weren't looking, and untapping lands when people weren't looking. Worst of all 4 times I caught him lying about not playing the set. All 4 times we either found out then or after that he had participated in several other local game stores pre-release events. Man, I gotta say, it's like a big f***ing shame when you see a Grand Prix player come in and they're just flat out cheating, because it just makes you wonder, damn, I wonder how you got to that top 8. That really makes me f***ing wonder how you could have got up there with all the bullshit you're doing. And plus, with it being like 10 years ago, being 2015, yeah, like it's different ball game back then. Yeah, I'm sure there's still cameras and shit that record those games, but dude, For things like this to be going on, it's very sad and pathetic, because you go to professional events and do this shit, and one day when you get caught at those professional events, your name will get hung over a banner for everyone to remember so they don't play with you ever again. We would question him about where he got X rare in his binder when he'd leaf through, and he would claim someone else gave it to him, and then he would snatch his prize packs and run. The 4th time, I had enough. Me and the other very patient and forgiving local game store MTG organizer asked him to never return. He cussed us out, called us every name in the book, claimed he'd file a junction on our store, and that he knows people, then stormed off. I could see this guy generally just going to pre-release events to either f*** with people on purpose or just to get that training in so that way when they go to Grand Prix it's not as noticeable. But still, dude, like it's some real disgusting shit when you see it in your local game store. Because like I said, seeing pro players cheat like this, whether it be intentional or not, it's bullshit. And the worst part is that it's people that go intentionally out of their way to ruin pre-release events just so they can either take the win or just so that way they can humiliate people with their own deck. But either way, at the end of the day, as long as you can notice them out and just say, go f*** yourself to them, then you'll just learn never to touch their table ever again. Our final story is a bit of a special one, since we step away from the local game store and look at a Grand Prix of Prague in 2017, where Bitter Blossom explains the worst experience of cheating they had ever seen. Posted 8 years ago within the same subreddit titled Disappointed with Cheating at Grand Prix Prague of 2017. My first European Grand Prix was Grand Prix of Prague, and I am greatly disappointed in how the event was organized to prevent cheating. I had buys and sleep in special. I cannot comment on the general registration, as I was not there for it. When I arrived at the GP, I waited in line, crossed my name off the list, and then sat down to register and built my pool. I wasn't given randomized seating or a pre-registered pool. I could sit wherever I want, get my pool verified by whoever I wanted, and with no supervision. Damn, that is already off to a very awkward start. People were sitting with their friends and registering each other's pools. This opened up the potential for easy cheats such as exchanging cards from each other's pools to build better pools, so that all the rares, uncommons, and commons were maximized between both players. Some players would take it a little further and add cards from outside their pool, so an opened dubious challenge would become a virtuous gear hulk. And finally, some would just bring and register their own pools and pocket the 6 packs. Okay, just from what I'm seeing so far, this is all pretty like this match or this general Grand Prix is a mess. There's nobody to tell anybody what they're supposed to be doing or really explaining like, hey, you can or can't do that. It's just flat out, yeah, I mean, you'll figure it out. I don't know. I'd like to think European championships at this point have been like a lot more straightened out. Right? I'd like to think so. Coverage highlighted a pool that was clearly stacked with the best commons, uncommons, good rares / mythics, and even a masterpiece to top it all off in the same color and archetype. This individual had 3 thriving rhinos, one of them being a foil, 2 long tusk cubs, 2 Pima outriders, 1 renegade freighter, 1 Nisa, 1 copter, 1 hangerback walker, all from 2 packs of Kaladesh. The probability of this happening, if someone can do the math on this, and also get very similar distributions in his Ether Revolt packs, is so unlikely compared to the possibility that he just took advantage of the flaw in the system. The guy still only managed to 8-1 with his deck and did not do so well on day 2, so this was not flagged. That is quite some trades to be doing just for like 1 deck. Like, you know for a fact this dude just probably sat with like 4 other of his buddies, just being like, you got this? Oh yeah. You have that? Oh yeah. Like, dude, what the f***? Like, no, I would figure that none of this shit is generally legal, but the worst part is no one stepping in to do anything. This is like as bad as European servers on like a Call of Duty game. Like, flat out. Like, anything goes, no one's getting stopped this day. The posted 9-0 list from GP Prague were substantially more powerful than the ones from GP San Jose the same weekend. When we discussed this at the Grand Prix, all I heard back was, yeah, European GPs are much sketchier. Yeah, no shit. Obviously. I mean, dude, it seems like Wizard doesn't even do shit about it. I want the European GPs to be brought up to the standard of North American GPs. It's unfair that someone that is honest and plays by the rules is playing a completely different game from those that are playing this system. Ideally, all sealed pools would be pre-registered. I understand that this is not always possible. At least there should be randomized seating and judges to supervise a lower number of players. Until these changes are made, I will actively advocate for anyone/everyone to avoid limited European GPs. This is unfortunate because the tournament organizers did an amazing job, as the tournament was run very well, and the event even happened despite a massive fire happening in the venue the Friday before the event. Paying over $100 for an event that is unfair is not my idea of a good time. I gotta say, that is very disappointing to just pay $100 just to have everyone cheat you out of your game. Especially in an event like the Grand Prix for Magic, dude. I guess in some way, maybe it was a good thing that Grand Prix got shut down with COVID in 2020. But still, it's just like reading these and just seeing like comparisons of like, oh yeah, you come over here, it's a little more stricter. There's actually some shit that gets watched down. And then you go over to Europe and it's like, I don't know. You want to play? You can play. Here, have Magic Pack. You want to go play with them? Go do that. I don't care. I don't think that was much of a Prague voice, but you know, European vibe. I think in the end, what this just kind of shows too is that during this time, Wizards of the Coast just cared more about one part of the world than they did the other. I guess that's kind of the best way to explain this. But that is all the stories of cheating that I have for you today. If you enjoyed the video and liked what you heard, be sure to like and subscribe for more videos. And be sure to check out our Discord where we have an awesome community growing. Slowly but surely, a platform that's slowly floating. Be sure to check out my Twitch as well. I'm usually streaming on weekdays, so if you're ever interested in just popping in to say hello, I'd be more than welcome to have you. But that's about all I got for y'all today. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you have a great one, and I will catch you in the next video. Deuces!